So I just received this news 2 days ago, and I'm only now getting to writing a script for it because I'm not going to lie, I had to take a mental break from this drama and the type of person I found myself around back when this all happened. All I can say is I dodged a huge bullet with this person, and I'm going to get into the reasons why I say that in a moment. But if you hear it from anyone, you can hear it from me. Hopeless Peaches is a backstabber, a liar, and her actions genuinely make me sick to my stomach. She uses people to gain clout and sympathy and throws anyone under the bus as soon as they have so much as a disagreement with her. You know, the thing that average human beings have every other day. Disagreements. A normal part of life. Yeah, that. Every person she claims is a quote-unquote friend to her is nothing but a tool for her to use. She is honestly disgusting, and I genuinely do not want to associate with her again because, quite frankly, the way she has treated me over the course of only 1 month says worlds about the type of person she is and the way she treats others. Hi guys, gals, gays, and theys. I'm Omnia, and today I'm going to explain why Hopeless Peaches is actually a really two-faced, manipulative, and gross person. I don't usually say that about people I critique, but the things she's done to me and the way she's acted towards others has been nothing less than disrespectful and deadass. I don't even know what to do with this information because it's just so unbelievable. You're going to understand why in a second. To preface, I've already made one video about Hopeless Peaches detailing my experiences with her, which I'll link in the card above. I definitely recommend you go watch that first before getting into this because this new update will make a lot more sense to you. However, just to be safe, I'll give you a really short recap of that video. Just keep in mind that this is a gross oversimplification of everything, and I'm just trying to give you context to the situation. Basically, Peaches and I began talking at the end of August. We talked occasionally and everything was normal. Then, me and Kai Weiss got into a controversy called the Toby drama, where we critiqued a hypocritical creator named Toby Majestic, otherwise known as Toby Mars, who supports Shane Dawson, made a transphobic remark to one of her fans, blames her borderline personality disorder for her mistakes, among other things. This caused at least 10 different creators, Peaches included, to dogpile on me and Kai, making videos on us or commenting on the ways we critiqued Toby, rather than critiquing Toby for her obviously worse wrongdoings. At the height of the Toby drama, when it was popular for other creators to shit on me and Kai, Peaches began to side with the rest of those creators. She came to me in DMs and we started having a disagreement about the way I handled the Toby drama, specifically the fact that I leaked a DM conversation that I had with Toby, despite the fact that I had a valid reason to leak them. Although Peaches initially agreed with my DM leak a few days earlier, she suddenly changed her mind after it became popular to do so and said I should have asked permission before leaking the DMs. I respectfully disagreed with her and our relationship ended at the end of September. That's the best summary I could come up with. We basically stopped talking after that one single disagreement. It's kind of insane, but I digress. After we stopped talking, Peaches went on to subtweet me and Kai a ton, kiss ass to other creators who made unbalanced videos against us, put words in our mouths, and spoke on our behalf, and has just generally been very two-faced and sneaky about her whole involvement in the drama. She weaponized the fact that we spoke in DMs for a month to leverage her arguments against me, twist my words, talk shit, and generally make it a point to ruin my reputation online for no other reason but to gain brownie points. But that's not all. Oh no. I've recently found out much more about some of the even more gross things she's done to me and the lies she spread about me without me even knowing about it. If you think her constant subtweeting, live chatting, and YouTube comments weren't enough, then I'm sure you'll be delighted to find out that she also lied about our DM conversations in her Discord server, like a certain someone we know, and betrayed my trust in the most disgusting way possible. Let's get into it. Real quick, shout out to Kai for obtaining these screenshots, you a real G. He's compiled a whole Google Drive of her talking smack about us in her Discord server and on Twitter, so I'll link it in the description so you can see them for yourself. Also, shout out to Gnome Huts for voicing Peaches. I could not have done it without you. Definitely subscribe to them, links in description. I'm going to be reading every single one of these Discord screenshots and debunking them as we go along, so let's get started. On October 7th, Peaches said,
"There was a drama lately that I regret even commenting on though. I wasn't in the best mindset, and even though it was just a comment, I don't know."
Just a comment? Just one comment? You sure?
The thing is, my comment where I was saying I'm sorry for being too black and white is what was under fire. I don't understand why.
You mean this? Because clearly one side was worse than the other throughout the course of the Toby drama, so saying that both sides are bad isn't profound, it's just downplaying Toby's shitty behavior and encouraging her to perpetuate it.
I've had people cut DMs of my own, even one of the people in the drama.
She's talking about Toby here. Apparently, according to Peaches, Toby has allegedly cut up DMs between both of them. I'm not exactly sure what the exact situation was, but that's what Peaches claims.
So I know how it feels, and it sucks. It hit a personal chord with me.
I'm sure you're not going to like the fact that I'm going to leak our DMs next then, considering the fact that you lied about our conversation in this very thread. But I warned you already. If someone publicly lies about a DM conversation that was had, I'm in my full right to disprove those claims by leaking the relevant evidence. And I'm doing it here too. But anyways, let's continue.
But at first, I didn't register how bad it was as the girl who had DMs leaked.
She's referring to Toby.
Cut up mine way back when.
I find it funny how Peaches says, quote, the girl who had DMs leaked, like a DM conversation doesn't inherently have two participating parties. Toby and my DM conversation is ours. Peaches and my conversation is ours. When you take the conversation outside and lie about it, then I can leak our DMs to prove that you're lying. It's that simple. It's not my DMs or your DMs. It's our DMs. Again, private conversations stay private until you lie about them publicly. That should not be hard to understand.
So I was just like, well, at least there's context, but maybe don't next time. But now I see, no, it's not a competition, you know? So I feel bad for being like that. Not to Toby, because I'm petty and still hold a grudge, but I'm sorry to myself and those who watch me, because I like to advocate to be nice and objective. None of this competitive BS.
Oh, you like to advocate to be nice and objective, huh? Then where was that when I was explaining why I leaked the DMs between Toby and I? When I asked if you could empathize with me about Toby lying about me? When you straight up said, no, not really, I can't empathize with you, sorry. That sure didn't feel nice to me. That actually hurt a lot coming from you. Considering you built your entire platform off of garnering sympathy and empathy from your audience, I thought you would have been able to at least slightly understand the position I was coming from. Maybe even relate, considering how much you claim people harass you and manipulate you, but I guess that was a foolish assumption.
And I know I'm a screw up and all that, but even me trying to say I was wrong is under fire, with people saying I'm excusing Toby's behavior. No, I'm not. No, they want me to be one-sided. Saying leaking DMs is bad is what got me under fire.
Not sure if you ever considered this, Peaches, but maybe you're under fire for that because one side is clearly less problematic than the other. Sometimes being one-sided when there's a clearly better side is a good thing. Maybe saying that leaking DMs is bad is logic that excludes any sort of nuance and therefore is a bad way to look at a nuanced situation. Maybe you're just simply in the wrong. Not sure if you've ever considered that before. Not only that, but if you're so hell-bent against leaking DMs, why were you so comfortable offering to leak DMs of Toby blackmailing people to me? Because I clearly recall you saying,
yeah, I had a load of DMs lately of Toby blackmailing people. I'm in a game right now, but if you need it, or Kai or whoever, LMAO.
To which I said, don't worry about it if you're chilling. Then, after you finished playing, you said,
I'm off the game. I have a shit sleep schedule right now because I'm sick and I haven't slept at all. Do you want it sent over? I don't understand it really, so it may be like, meh. It just sounds a bit weird because apparently she's blackmailing people.
To which I declined. I literally dissuaded you from leaking DMs to me unwarranted without any reason other than to expose Toby's behavior. I thought you were supposed to ask permission for leaking DMs and you were supposed to have a good reason to do so. What happened to that? Does that criteria apply to everyone besides yourself? God forbid I hold you to your same standard, am I right?
Even having people say, stop saying you know them personally. Black people don't want to know you BS. Bruh, if you know both people in the situation, the men in black don't come to wipe your memory once you have a disagreement.
Can you tell me exactly what you know about me, Peaches? Can you list what you know about me? Because I'm fairly certain my audience probably knows me more than you do. Like, if you have watched every single video on my channel, you probably know me better than Peaches does. No joke.
Me trying to do what I thought was right just got me on blast.
Sometimes what you think is right is wrong, and it's okay to admit you're wrong every once in a while. Take it from the king himself, D'Angelo Wallace.
Like, even though me and Toby have fallen out, I didn't want to say her upset wasn't valid on leaked DMs, and being friends with the one who leaked them, I prefer to talk in DMs about it, which had them say I'm victim blaming in a weird analogy, and then protest online that they don't know me. And I'm like, dude, I just want y'all to stop.
Okay, these messages are a handful. First of all, we were acquaintances more than we were friends. Although we were on our way to developing a friendship, we weren't talking frequently enough or for long enough for me to consider you a friend yet. I made sure to make that distinction very clear since the beginning. I stated that over time, I would be interested in possibly developing a friendship with you, but at the time, I still considered you an acquaintance. Second of all, I never said you were victim blaming in a weird analogy. Victim blaming never once came up in our conversation until you yourself brought it up. You're literally lying about our DMs here, and I'm going to prove that right now. This is the last couple messages we sent to each other. Here's what prefaced the last couple DMs, so no one can complain that context was cut. I was unsatisfied with how the conversation ended, so I sent one last thought after Peaches wished me well. I just want to leave you with this analogy to illustrate my thoughts on everything. If the elder child grabs a toy from the younger child and holds it above the younger child's head, then the younger child reacts by screaming and crying. Who do you punish? The younger or the older one? Because according to you, apparently the younger one is at fault for screaming in reaction to the older one. This was an analogy that pretty much illustrates how Peaches views the Toby DM leak. Toby lied about the DMs publicly, so I leaked the DMs in reaction to dispute her lies. In the analogy, Toby is the older child who grabs the toy or lies publicly, and I'm the younger child who reacts by screaming and crying or leaking the DMs in reaction. Toby should be condemned for lying about the DMs. I should not be condemned for defending myself after she lied. That's what this analogy was supposed to illustrate. Can you tell me where I called her a victim blamer here? No? Me neither. I go on to say, if you don't want to choose sides in this, I'm okay with that. Peaches said,
I'm not choosing sides. I said I know you aren't acting bad and malicious. I'm literally just saying don't leak DMs. And you do have an issue. We already finished our conversation.
I noticed the point flew right over her head, so I simply said, so don't scream and cry in reaction essentially. I got it. Then Peaches said,
why are you being so defensive about me just saying don't leak DMs?
I said, no, I'm not defensive, I'm just saying how I felt. In the analogy, the leaking DMs is the screaming and crying in reaction to the toy being taken or lying about me publicly. That's all I'm saying. This is where Peaches goes apeshit, and this honestly makes me laugh in retrospect. She goes,
I don't understand why you're making an argument again.
I say, I'm not arguing, I'm giving you an analogy. Peaches says,
is leaking somebody's entire DMs the only outcome for you? And why call her racist when you agreed with her?
I literally do not understand where this came from. It was completely out of left field, so I'm just like, I didn't call her racist. And Peaches is still flipping out, going on and on about,
why call her out for speaking on a topic when she wasn't preaching? And why are you arguing with me when I said I'm done talking about it? I said advice. It's not going to affect me if you take it or leave it.
Are you sure it's not going to affect you if I take it or leave it? Because you seem really pressed about all of this right now. But I digress. Again, I say, why are you putting words in my mouth though? I said, here's an analogy, and now you're on about me calling her racist. Peaches said,
then don't bring up her race when discussing it.
I love how all these white women are telling me when to speak on race or not. The caucasity in the room is intense. And our conversation didn't even have to do with that. It was about the DM leak. I simply said, I didn't. I brought up an analogy, LMFAO. Peaches continues with,
you're implying it's a bad take. You are arguing with me still. We just finished talking.
I say, I think you're arguing with me, cause I gave you an analogy and said I would leave you at that, which I did. I didn't say anything about anyone being racist or anyone else she's losing her shit over. Peaches goes,
I don't know why you're trying so hard to sway me. How is it fair that I hear your side, understand you, but then I'm wrong for getting another perspective? And yes, it is an argument. What I meant before I ended the convo was I didn't want to talk about this.
At this point, I was getting kind of sick of her shit, so like I said in my first video, pretty much threw my hands up in the air and agreed to disagree, going so far as to say, you're not wrong, nor am I trying to sway you. Your opinion is a valid one, and if it works for you, then I'm glad. I'm deadass validating her opinion and saying if that's what helps her sleep at night, then so be it. I disagree, but whatever. This is where Peaches herself says,
"Why are you DMing me again and saying I'm someone who would victim blame?"
Honestly, I don't know if this is her projecting or if she said that because she feels guilty about her clearly unfair opinion, but I never called her a victim blamer. If anyone called her that, it was her own damn self. After that, she asked if I could stop DMing her about this, and that's when our conversation ended. Now that you've seen the relevant conversation, can someone tell me if you saw me calling her a victim blamer? Can someone let me know if they saw me calling Toby racist? Because I stared at those DMs for a solid minute and I can't see it anywhere, but if you can find it, please let me know. Alright, let's get back to what Peaches was saying in her Discord server.
It's just upsetting because people think I'm bad now and I hate it. I just kind of want to cry, which I am right now. Again.
Is it just me, or can we all collectively see her trying to garner pity points in real time? Like, every sentence she types just oozes with, "Feel bad for me, I'm so innocent, and everyone else is attacking me for absolutely no reason." It's kind of impressive.
I know even ignoring it now would not be good, you know? Because the mentality is if you don't defend yourself, you're guilty. But the allegations was I stuck my nose where it doesn't belong.
Not the way she was using the terms allegations to describe her controversies 2 months in advance. Damn, y'all, we should have seen this coming.
Why would me making a video on this make you happy? WTF? I don't even know why it's so hard for people to understand. I dislike both sides' mistakes. After the lies, I can say I dislike both sides, period. And I'm like, I just want to better myself and ignore it for now, but to ignore it is me also just hiding and being snaky. LMAO.
This is just a yikes from me. Talking about the lies and being snaky is just extremely rich coming from her. It's also very telling what type of mindset she was in at the time. Guilt is a very dangerous feeling to have on your conscience, Peaches.
There isn't much to explain other than I knew both sides personally and then felt bad. I was closed-minded and rectified it.
You rectified it by giving me shit for not asking permission to leak DMs from the person who lied about the DMs? Girl, I just...
I tried, but now the allegations is I'm lying about even knowing them. More just saying I was wrong to be closed-minded and it's better to be objective.
Peaches, back at it again with the allegations. And, as I stated before, you don't know me or Kai personally. Also, when there's clearly a side that is less at fault than the other, being objective is not saying that both sides are bad. Being objective means that you acknowledge the fact that one side is disproportionately worse than the other, and you condemn everyone appropriately according to the severity of their faults. That's what being neutral is. It's taking all things into account and making a fair, justified decision. That's not how you acted throughout the Toby drama, so claiming that you ever tried to be objective or neutral is, in and of itself, untrue.
Then I get no black person would want to know you as if you want to defend blackface and transphobia from Shane Dawson, a guy not involved. You are part of the problem.
I genuinely do not have the mental energy to respond to this one.
Basically, I was friends with one of the people who's in the drama. Actually, both.
Again, while you might have definitively been friends with Toby, you and I had talked on and off for a month, and therefore I personally did not see you as a friend yet. While, yes, we were on our way to developing a friendship, and yes, that was my intention of speaking with you privately, we were still only acquaintances at the time.
So, initially, I was on the side of the girl calling Toby out. Omnia called them out, blah blah blah, I don't care. It's public stuff to critique, and Toby has hurt me in the past, so I know it's all pretty legit. Then, Omnia leaked DMs, including a private story of Toby's. The DMs showed a friendly back and forth too, so there was nothing bad there. So, initially, I'm a petty asshole. Toby challenged Omnia, Omnia delivered, and to be honest, Toby leaked my stuff, so I just said at least there's context in these leaks, but maybe next time don't leak. However, that wasn't right. Nah, saying the first half is a bitch move, you know? It's very shitty. Looking at Toby, she never really made Omnia have a situation she needed to leak.
Lord, give me the strength. Lord, give me the strength. Lord, give me the strength. When someone says that something makes them feel threatened, you best believe them. So when I said that I deemed Toby lying about me publicly as threatening, you best believe me. Going on your Discord server and speaking for me, saying that Toby never put Omnia in a situation where she felt the need to leak is gross and frankly misleading. Stop putting words in my mouth and stop explaining my intentions for me. And before you go,
"That's my opinion!"
no, you don't get to speak for me and then claim it's just an opinion.
So, I changed my mind and said I was petty and I hope things end soon. That is when people said I was lying about knowing anyone, when I'm not, and how I'm supporting Toby. I believe only if lies are being said, then only show context for that situation, not every single DM ever.
Okay, but did Toby ever specify what DMs I cut up, twisted, or lied about? No? Then I'm going to leak the entire relevant conversation. I really don't get why it's so hard for people to, stop making excuses for Toby and just admit that her lying about the DMs was a shitty thing to do, and the fact that the DMs got leaked is just a consequence of that. I really don't think I'll ever understand why these creators want to die on the hill that is Toby. You don't have to bend over backwards to excuse her behavior. Just call it what it is. Shitty. The DMs are public now because of it.
I feel bad about it enough. I don't know why saying I hope it ends soon is bad. People are acting like sharing DMs of any kind is okay, but I've had that happen to me. It hurt. Trust just had to give out after that, and the DMs weren't bad. It was a friendly convo with a personal story slapped in there. I don't care how bad a person is, but if I feel I'll be anxious around a person, I'll go with my gut, you know?
You know what also causes people to lose trust? When you purposefully lie about what was said in DMs or lie about the fact that I cut up DMs when I didn't. That's also something that makes people very uneasy and unable to trust you. So when Toby claimed publicly that I cut up context, twisted things, and lied about a conversation, I leaked it to prove that that was simply untrue. When Peaches tells her Discord server that I called her a victim blamer in DMs when I didn't, I leaked the DMs to prove it. That doesn't shoot my credibility, it actually strengthens it because I know exactly when and what I said in our conversations.
I told Omnia personal information too. I don't want that out. I don't like that. If I had a gut feeling, I should have just silently moved on instead of DMing Omnia and all that. I just didn't like seeing the standards of commentary plummet so badly they go into illegal means of cancellation, you know? It's not nice.
From the looks of it, you probably spoke to make a comment about the legality of DM leaks, huh? Unfortunately for the both of you, it's not illegal to leak DMs, especially if I'm leaking them for the purpose of providing evidence against false public claims, which you and Toby just so happened to make about me. But if you're so confident about it, I implore you to sue.
I don't know why I started to mess up. Maybe being friends at all? Maybe siding against Toby? Maybe critiquing Omnia? Maybe being vocal at all? Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if people even want to know my intention. Or if they think it matters, because Toby likes Shane Dawson, so me critiquing a method of critiquing her, I'm now racist. And I'm like, bruh, I'm too busy dying inside over other shit to deal with this. Racism is prejudice and discrimination based on race. Racial insensitivity is being a brainlet without the intent. And critiquing you for illegal shit is neither. Come on guys, hate me all you want, but this ain't it.
No, this ain't it. Because I don't know what it is with you and with Toby, but racism and racial insensitivity are the same damn thing. It's the same. I don't care for distinctions anymore. At first I was like, I guess you could say that. But if you really think about it, it's all gross and it doesn't matter how severe it is. If you're being an asshole to someone based solely on their race, it's racist. Wearing blackface as a joke is not racial insensitivity, it's racist. Making a joke about Asian people being yellow isn't racial insensitivity, it's racist. Saying the N-word to be edgy isn't racial insensitivity, it's racist. Stop downplaying the extremity of making shitty-ass jokes that aren't even funny at the expense of BIPOC. Calling it racial insensitivity downplays the severity these actions have on real, marginalized individuals. It's racist.
I wish the internet was less toxic, less gatekeepy, less mean. My mistake was publicly commenting at all.
Wow, so you know what you did wrong, but you still continue to do it. Funny how that works.
It was clearly toxic AF, the drama. Apparently I've been mentioned in a video on the topic, not gonna watch because I am 2 seconds away from having a meltdown. I've been in need of help for years, to be honest, and honestly, that's why I've turned down talking about my mental health on my channel. I've not done anything about it. I'm not really a good person to talk about it if I'm not even gonna try to help myself get through it, you know? I don't know. I have depression, and it's no excuse for any action, but that's why I try to keep as honest as ever about when I'm wrong.
If your depression isn't an excuse for any action, why was it the first thing you brought up in your video addressing Luke and Shannon's complaints about you? Why was it the first thing you mentioned when it came to sympathy baiting and manipulating your audience? Why did your mental health play such a crucial part in that video? Because here, you're saying that it's not an excuse for any of your actions, and you try to keep as honest as ever when you're in the wrong, but that's not what any of us saw in your response video. You're just granting lip service to an idealized version of yourself, but in reality, you blamed all your deplorable actions on your mental headspace at the time and didn't even take the time to apologize for any of your wrongdoings. So that's pretty much the majority of Peaches talking about me on her Discord server. After finding that entire thread with the help of Kai, I finally thought that this would be the extent of her slighting me for simply disagreeing with her on how I handled the Toby situation. Subtweets, speaking on my behalf, commenting in favor of biased videos against me, kissing ass to the creators who made such videos, and lying about our conversation on Discord. It seemed like an adequate amount of damage on my end, right? You would think that that would be enough for her to get her frustrations out, right? You would think that she would be satisfied with that, right? No! Unfortunately, this is not the case, and I have recently found out something even worse and even more shocking about her involvement in the Toby drama altogether. Because she wasn't just commenting from the sidelines, she was directly participating in the making of a video. But not just any video. A video made by one of the biggest people to involve themselves in this drama thus far. I found this out with the help of Junkie, or the name's Junkie on YouTube, who also makes commentary videos. Junkie is actually currently working on a video involving the Toby drama, and it's going to be a long one, which is typical considering it's a Toby drama video, but for once, I'm actually anticipating something positive coming out as a result of it, so definitely stay tuned for that. Junkie, along with his editor Phantom, was granted access to view Just a Robot script for the video titled Toby Drama, featuring Mega Comment and Fuchsia Butter. The video was basically a hit piece against me and Kai, where Jar and his collab partners unfairly nitpicked us while also actively making excuses for Toby. Because of how bad it was received relatively poorly, as once again it was extremely unbalanced and even defamatory at certain points due to the fact that Jar called Kai a racist, Fuchsia Butter called me a dense-skulled leech, a dumbass and as dumb as a bucket of bricks, and there were just a host of other issues with it. The video even included a clip where Jar read a comment Kai made in a condescending tone while blackface SpongeBob flashed on the screen in order to mock Kai even further. Which, if you ask me, is pretty racist. If you want to know the full extent of how awful that video was, you should give this video by Prisonmate Luke a watch, or you could also watch this response video by Kai Weiss. I was also featured in Kai's video, so if you want some fun, funky, and fresh new content, have at it, but I digress. The video was arguably the worst one out of the 3 misinformed Toby drama videos that were made, and I don't say that lightly. With the help of Junkie and Phantom, it has come to my attention that Hopeless Peaches helped edit Just a Robot, Mega Comment, and Fuchsia Butter script for the Toby drama video less than 24 hours after our last conversation. Let me repeat that one more time. Hopeless Peaches helped edit Jar's script for the Toby drama video 18 hours after our last DM conversation. For someone who likes to claim that they are my friend and they know me personally, you would think she would at least know not to do something as messed up as that. You would think she would know not to contribute to a video that ultimately led to me reconsidering whether or not I should even stay in this community. You would think she would have at least have some semblance of human decency that would make her double back and say, this might be messed up of me to do, let me not do that. But you know what? She chose to do it anyways, and that's what really, really disappoints me. She couldn't sit beside herself for even one full day to think about our last conversation and the hurt I might have felt before turning her back on me and single-handedly contributing to one of the worst Toby videos produced thus far. You were perfectly content with yourself doing that to someone you claim to see as your friend and continue to claim as your friend? Seriously? I do not believe for a second that you would do that to anyone you really care about or really treasure, because that is honestly some of the most deplorable behavior that I've ever seen exhibited by someone in this community. Like, yes, we did have a disagreement in DMs about the Toby drama, but the fact that me disagreeing with you was enough reason for you to completely turn your back on me and jump in to help edit a takedown video of me less than 24 hours after we had our disagreement is genuinely very shocking. You couldn't even wait a full day before stabbing me in the back by involving yourself in editing Just a Robot's slanderous video on me. I'm honestly wondering if you had known of that awful video's making beforehand too, and if that was the reason you were being so confrontational with me in the first place. But that's just me speculating. Regardless, Hopeless Peaches, you're actually disgusting, and I'm beyond disappointed in you. I really genuinely think that you mishandle the privilege that you have of being being a voice of reason on this platform because you do not treat any of the people who have come to support you and uplift you in a manner that is appropriate or acceptable by any means. And to Just a Robot, Manga Comment, and Fuchsia Butter, who wanted to keep Peach's involvement in your collaboration a secret, I'm severely disappointed in all three of you as well for being complacent and not seeing a problem with that type of behavior. I don't care if she's your friend or if you wanted to shield her from additional backlash. I know not to ever associate with you all because now I know you're willing to hide stuff like this in order to keep your friends from receiving well-deserved criticism. I don't trust any of you with absolutely any of your commentaries going forward because I now know that you pick and choose who deserves criticism based on whether or not you have a personal relationship with them. If anyone has shot their credibility, it's you three. To end this video, I want to say that I'm just very, very disappointed in so many creators that I once looked up to. It honestly feels like the entire art commentary community is in shambles, and that's because it is. It feels like every other month I'm discovering the fact that yet another well-known creator has done some really messed up stuff, and their friends have done nothing but enable them and let their behavior perpetuate. It honestly hurts to see this many creators that I used to watch and admire before I even decided to start my own channel act the way that they are, and I genuinely hope we can find some sort of solution to this growing problem because quite frankly, it seems to just be getting worse and worse with each passing month. All in all, yet another extremely disappointing video about yet another fellow art commentary channel that I used to look up to and enjoy. First it was Toby, now it's Peaches. God knows who's next because I frankly wouldn't be surprised if we found out that yet another creator is absolutely terrible behind the scenes. The proof is in the pudding that she herself made, and this is nothing short of a wake-up call from me. Just take this as a lesson that some of the people you trust the most in this niche are the most toxic, disrespectful, and gut-wrenching people when surrounded by the right crowd. Be careful with who you trust out there because if you're too friendly, you might just find yourself dealing with a hopeless Peaches of your own. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye.